Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli wa nusallimu ala rasulihil kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Dear viewers, welcome back. It's not fair. So we dealt with this question. Everyone hears it. We have children, we have teenagers all around who say this. In fact, we have grown adults who say that. How do we deal with it? How do we address it? So we did a previous video of what leads to this perceived injustice. This term is very important, perceived injustice. And how do we handle it when it's happening around us, or our children, or those who we mentor feel that they have been dealt unfairly or they've been dealt a bad hand. So the first thing you have to do is listen actively. Same thing in our crisis video we talked about, because the person going through this, the perceived unfairness might be a crisis for them. So active listening. Listen attentively, listen respectfully, without interruption, without judgment, and get their perspective. Go a little deeper into what they're actually feeling so horrid about. So ask the right questions. Use open-ended questions like, what made you feel that this is unfair? How is it different from what happened before? Etc. So that we can get to the root of their concern. What is actually troubling them? Sometimes it might be that it's just a rivalry with someone, and that's what it actually is. The other day, I went into a matter with, someone who's very dear to me, a child, about 12 years old. And it turned out at the root of it was a sibling rivalry because of his younger sibling. He just feels that things go in his brother's favor and not his. Anyway, so then we want to clarify the situation. Ask others around the situation as well. Maybe talk to the teacher, talk to the coach, whoever that we need to talk to, who they feel did them wrong, and we get their perspective, and then we should gently and gradually explain to this child, to the person who perceives unfairness, that would help them broaden their perspective, get to see the whole picture, and we should reason with them, we should be objective with them, and let them know that how they can come out of this perception so we guide them out of that perception of unfairness and injustice, which doesn't really exist. And of course, we should validate their efforts. We should say, I'm proud of you that you are taking a stand on this. However, you should also understand that, so the courage to speak up is very good, but at the same time, understand that your perspective could be incorrect. Maybe you're not seeing the whole situation. Maybe you need to talk to that person, etc. So validate their efforts, but you don't have to agree with their stance, like I keep saying. Then the more important part is long-term, that they can learn from this event and have long-term skills for resilience and perspective. That is what, if there's one skill or one ability that you want to develop in your children to make them conscious Muslims who will bring positive change in the world, representatives of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that is resilience. Resilience. To be able to be knocked down and get up again. That is, to me, the most important skill of life, because too many of our children get knocked down and never get up. They don't accomplish what Allah has given them the treasure to accomplish. So the first thing in that is taking perspective of others. Encourage the child to consider how others might feel about the situation or why certain decisions were made. So let them walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Getting them to see other people's perspectives makes them more empathetic, makes them more well-rounded humans, balanced humans, who don't succumb to their own emotions in every situation. So they should take this opportunity and become problem solvers. So teach them and direct them towards problem solving. Teach them how to propose solutions rather than just pointing out the problem. So, for example, they might say, it's unfair. They didn't even take our opinion about a certain matter. And you could say, what could be a solution? How do we solve this problem? So, well, if they would have asked our opinion and our input, we would have given our input, and whatever the decision they made, that would be fine. I'm just concerned why my opinion wasn't taken. And that would be it. So that would make things very positive. The role of patience and growth. You see, not every situation will feel fair. Not every situation will be fair. People make mistakes. People around us who have with the best of intentions will make mistakes. So, holding everyone to such high standard of accountability is going to be very taxing on yourself. But being resilient and letting things pass, letting things slide, makes you just that much stronger and not sweat the small stuff. So that this patience and growth leads to resilience, where our children are able to understand that, things happen. Let it happen. Let it go. It is what it is. Then they have to understand that fairness and equality are two different things. So it doesn't have to be equal. Being fair doesn't have to be equal. For example, there's a new student in class. He's nervous. He doesn't have friends here. And so the teacher gives, a special favor to them. And the children feel that it was unfair. No, it wasn't. Because they needed that in order to feel home here. A child might be going through some trauma at home, and the teacher might give them, some benefit, or same thing in the family as well. Maybe a child is sick, or maybe has a disability, so they would be given an advantage in certain cases. So our children need to understand that every equality is not necessary for fairness. Some others have some disadvantages, whereas you have an advantage. So sometimes you have to balance that out and give them an advantage. So all the chips shouldn't be in my favor. That is very, very selfish, and we don't want selfish children. So in conclusion, what we need to understand is that our role as mentors, parents, teachers, coaches, is to shape this insan al-kamil, the complete human, who is a role model for the world and follows the footsteps of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They have to understand fairness and justice in order to live peacefully themselves and with others. And we need to have empathetic dialogue and interactions with children so that we can develop these feelings of peace and justice. And as long as we do that, we do our role in making the world a better place and unlock the treasures that Allah has kept in these beautiful children of ours. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.